Now, I'm guessing some of you saw this website. You may well have even looked at it in elementary school, but it's a great one for an example for checking for your credibility and reliability. So you're going to see that on your hyperdoc, you actually have a list of questions to ask. And when you do your final assignment, you're going to actually have a Google form that you can fill out to help you with this. So the first thing it asks you is, I can identify a group, individual, or author responsible for the content on this site. So let's have a little look. Can we find an author? I often go right the way to the bottom to start with that. And it does actually have here an @ sign, and it says who it's credited to. So that's some interesting information. I wonder if I can find out more information. It says it's not associated with any school or educational organization, so that feels a little dodgy, especially the Kelvinic University branch of the Wild Haggis Conservation Society. Okay, so why don't we think about looking up that? Wild Haggis Conservation Society. Look, I'm not the first to have looked. Here we go. Oh, well, there is a thing. It does seem to exist. I noticed when I did that search, it said, is it real? So someone else has asked. An innovative organization that uniquely blends humor and education to engage the public in important environmental conservation efforts. So that sounds very interesting. So the next question is, a credible personal organization maintains this site, has a degree. Well, we sort of looked at that, didn't we? Okay. The site has been updated in the last 3 to 6 months. Well, the last update I see is 2022, so that's a big no. Does it have external links to other websites? Well, let's have a look under the links, and it has information, but they aren't actually links. So that's interesting, and we haven't even looked at the actual content at this point, bear in mind. Does it have a credible suffix, .gov.edu? Well, no, it's a .net. The site provides a phone number, email, or mailing address that I could use to contact the author for more information. Well, let's look at FAQ. And I'm going to click there. And of course, that is what's going to happen. So we're going to do, there we go. Okay, so it has some information. It does have an email address. This has actually been updated. This information is about cephalopods, okay, the octopuses. So that's very interesting. So we're getting sort of a mixed message here, aren't we? So first of all, tree octopus, well, I don't think such a thing exists. And yet, there is a scientific information page. The main purpose is to provide facts and not opinions. So I'd have to read some more information here, but it does look like we're fundraising here. Is it biased towards an opinion or a point of view? Are there spelling errors or links that don't work? And is the main purpose of this site to sell a product or a service? Well, we went through before and we did notice that the authors are known for their humor. And here we go into the fundraising and the more information here. So I'd have to read through the whole site really to get that. I don't see spelling errors. I don't see links that don't work. To sell a product or service, I don't really see that, although there was, of course, information for fundraising. The site has no external links. It definitely has links. So what we would do now is we would go and we would actually score the page. So the first thing I'm going to do is just look at the information. Does it even look credible? And to me, it doesn't look kind of that up to date. The concept seems a little bit ridiculous, but then I read the information and it sounds very knowledgeable and scientific. I'm going to say, can I identify a group or an individual? Yes, we did, so I would give it a point. A credible point or organization maintains the site. Now that's a difficult one with this. They're credible, but not in maybe the way we would like. So I think I'm going to put a 0 for not sure. It has been updated in the past 3 to 6 months. No, the background information had, but not the actual site itself. The site has external links to other websites. It did have links, but they all were sort of enclosed to their own blogs and their own information that I could find. I would suggest we go back and do a little bit searching, but I'm going to put a 0 for now. The site has a credible suffix. No. The site provides a phone number, email, or mailing address that I could contact the author. It did feel like if I did some digging, I could find that, so I'm going to put a 1, even though it's not actually on the site. And the main purpose of the site is to provide facts and not opinions. Well, even if the facts are incorrect, it's facts. So we have 2 points on the positives. Now let's look at the negatives. It's biased towards an opinion or point of view. Not really. There are spelling errors and links that don't work. No. The main purpose of the site is to sell a product or a service. No. The site has no external links. No. So in this situation, I am going to say that there are no negative points, but there were only a couple of positive points. And if you remember, if there are only a few positive points, that is going to take us into a non-credible site. Now I'm going to have to do a whole bunch more searching.